So when you think about the 7 things that people need to stop right now that just wrecking their gut. Now we went through them, and I think we have some great tips right here. But I think number one, again, it's right up your alley, and it's what you got to stop doing what.
You got to eat properly. You got to have a good dietary pattern. You can't just eat garbage.
Yeah. So when you say a good dietary pattern, go a little bit more into detail. What do you mean, and what do you strive for?
I strive for balanced meals, right, to stay satiated. I strive to eat a lot of fiber and eat very, 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 very minimally processed foods. Try to keep the processed foods down to a bare minimum. That's how I look at it as eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables,
Yeah.
cooked and raw.
So people are not eating enough fiber.
Right.
Number one is a bad habit you got to break. And then when we say processed foods, I automatically think high fat, high sugar,
High salt.
high salt,
Yeah.
and like I said, not eating enough veggies.
Yeah. Not eating a lot of stuff to give you that nutrients you need.
Yeah. You know, and another thing as well is there's this craze, this fad, I'm going to call it that, where they're promoting the high protein diets, high fat diets, and stay away from the carbs.
Yeah. What is that?
It's not right.
Well, they're thinking, oh, it's bad because it will bring all these diseases. That they say it brings on dementia. Or it brings on, if you eat too much carbs, it brings up it raises your sugars, and if it raises your sugars, you're gonna, it's gonna lead to poor metabolic health, and it leads to problems later on if you eat too much carbs. But they're not distinguishing the good carbs from the bad carbs.
That's right. Yeah. Because bad carbs,
Yeah, your chips,
refined sugars,
yeah, your chips,
processed foods.
your cookies, your beers, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Versus if you're eating a potato.
Right. And you need a potato because when you eat enough carbs, you actually feed the good bacteria.
Right.
And they need that carbohydrate to do what they do.
So if they're eating like a high protein, high fat diet, and they're not taking in enough the good carbs, what does that do to them over the long run? Does it build another problem?
Well, you
Like open yourself up to more diseases?
yeah, 100%. And it's what you just outlined. When it comes to when you have an overpopulation of bad bacteria, you can have a leaky gut. Leaky gut can lead to autoimmune disease. It can lead to type 1 diabetes if you're a kid or a baby.
Okay, I see how, it leads to the overpopulation of the bad gut bacteria, and that's how the disease come in. Got it.
Depression, anxiety, all these things that are mood regulating, the mental side of things, which is a lot of mental illness. So think about that. There's a lot of mental illness going around.
All of a
right?
sudden, it's like, oh, depression.
Mental health.
Yeah, they say, no, we never diagnosed it before. Really?
I've never seen it before. And I've been on the planet for nearly 50 years. I haven't seen this much before. And so
Yeah.
you start thinking about, like you said, it's always in what you eat.
Yes,
Well,
I
think
always
about
say
it.
everything is in the food.
Yeah. So high fat, high salt, high processed sugar type of meals leads to bad bacteria, dysregulation of your dopamine serotonin, which feeds your brain, which throws you off.
Yeah, makes so much sense.
I spent 4 years trying to learn that. It really shouldn't take me 4 years. It took you 2 sentences. And quite frankly, I actually didn't learn it that way in school. I had no study beyond that because they don't teach that kind of stuff in school the way you think about it.
Right.
So that's number one. That's number one is stop that type of dietary pattern.
Okay.
Number two, I would say is people take too many medications.
They do. They do. I was driving by a pharmacy not too long ago, and my daughter points out, she said, wow, look at all those cars in that line to the drive up to the pharmacy window. And it was a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what's going on there?
I don't take medicine.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't go to the pharmacy.
yeah, I don't.
As a doctor, I rarely prescribe anything. And some of my patients may not like it. There's a purpose behind it. Because a lot of times it's antibiotics, pain medicine. Antibiotics, they kill bacteria.
Yeah, you don't.
Can they isolate just the bad bacteria? No.
Yeah.
They kill the good bacteria too.